It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
So this has been another episode. We bring you an episode of the Vib3z Podcast. Two Dimple King, your favorite Leo, and I have my co-host with me. That'll be you.
Look, you caught me off guard because I was still over here fixing stuff. Y'all already know who it is. It's your girl Brex. The hot hitter days.
And we have an amazing, bubbly guest today. Yeah, tell people who you are.
Like that. It's ready to get interesting.
So tell people who you are.
My name is Adrienne Hollister, and I am the host of MidLife Craving Podcast. And my show is about living authentically. I think a lot of people don't talk about the monumental shift that occurs in your 40s and living your best life. And I'm also a nympho, so it's a lot about sex.
Hold on. You're in your 40s?
41. Thank you. Botox.
Okay.
It works.
So what made you want to start the podcast that you started?
I was looking around the room at my friends, right? And I had gone through a divorce and was getting out of a long-term relationship. My other friend was in a sexless marriage. I had another friend who just started dating again, someone who was getting remarried. And I was like,
everybody was at different spots.
Yeah, and I was like, and no one talks about this. Your kids are getting older. And you're like, who am I? Like, what now? You spend your 20s in college or going to school, building your career.
And then your 30s.
Getting married, having babies, happily ever after. Disney failed us. And then your 40s, you're like, now what? And so I was like, no, I'm just going to start talking about it.
You know what? Now that you didn't put it that way, yeah. When you get to your 40s, because 20s is your fuck up years, you do whatever you want in college or whatever. 30s is normally the career stage, have babies.
Get your shit together.
Oh, yes.
What do you do in your 40s?
Let me tell you something.
Live your best life.
Thank you. 40 is where it's at.
40 is where it's at?
Yes. You know what? You know what's nice about 40 is I still feel like I'm 20. I still live my life but you got money now. You have resources. Different. Yeah. I was telling you I went to Towson and I'm not some broke college kid anymore. So yeah. And you start to live. You start to see things. You're like, oh wow, I've been here 40 years. This is midlife, and is this what I want to be?
I thought midlife was in the 30s. Is midlife 40s?
30s, midlife?
Yes.
Wow. Life expectancy, I think, is about 80, 85. That sounds harsh, but yeah, so 40.
Jesus, I was sitting here like, I got 10 more years. It's getting real bleak.
Oh, my God.
So you mentioned that you started this podcast because you wanted to give people, the inside scoop.
I started my podcast just for my friends. I thought, let's have fun together. Let's talk about things. I never in a million years thought my show would blow up like it did, thanks to TikTok. And it's been an incredible ride. 2 years almost.
2 years.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the whole show blowing up? Because you put some time into it.
Huh?
Because you put some time into it. You made a TikTok. You started doing videos.
TikTok really exploded my show for sure. I went viral a couple times on TikTok and it just blew up. My numbers went from 1,000 downloads to 10,000 downloads in 1 month. So that was crazy.
And how excited were you when you seen it? You was like, oh, it don't matter. Oh, were you excited?
It is exciting. It's like this high you're always chasing on TikTok. Go viral, get 1 million downloads, 1 million views. But it's also a little nerve-wracking. I've had a couple of people notice me in public, and I'm like, because I have a real life too. I have a full-time job. I'm a single mom. I have a whole life outside of my show, and so. But I love it.
So do you like being recognized in public?
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't. You don't. No. Are you a little celebrity
it's not
now?
Much. No, it's not. I think maybe 3 or 4 times. It actually happened a couple weekends ago, which was interesting.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
So what do you say to people if they do recognize you from your show or TikToks? Do you tell them to come up and greet you no matter what type of stuff?
And I meet fans. I meet fans a lot. Like when I travel, I went to Virginia Beach this summer and I met a fan there. I actually had a fan on my last episode, someone who met me through my show and just became friends. And yeah.
Whoa.
I'm open to it. Yeah.
You see me talk to me.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you got out your marriage. Were you this sexual being in the marriage, or when you got out, you were like, okay, then I'm going to be myself now?
I was like Maybelline. I was born with it. I have always been this way, but I suppressed it. That's something that you do, right? You find yourself being pressured by societal norms, and I withheld and suppressed my sexual drive for many, many, many years.
How long were you married for?
7 years. And then I got immediately into a long-term relationship, and I suppressed it then too.
Are they telling you to, or are you doing it?
No, it's just, you get a lot of shame for living the way that I do.
But you never told your men, like, hey, babe.
So I did. Listen, I'm dropping hints, and I remember I said to him specifically, I was like, I want a sex swing for Christmas.
Right.
Like, that's all I wanted, was a sex swing. And he was like, ew, why?
What?
I'm like, why not? That's what I said.
But she just sprung it on him just out of nowhere. Hey, honey, I want a sex swing.
Well, no, he was like, what do you have for Christmas? And I said, a sex swing. And he was just so turned off by that. And I was like, shit.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of, I just, vanilla sex just doesn't do it for me. And I was, it was tough. It was tough. And that wasn't the reason why we broke up. It was a factor, but it wasn't the reason why I broke up with him. But once I broke up with him, I think when people are going through these phases, when you're going through a divorce, you seek safety so much because your world is crazy and spiraling when you're going through a divorce. I don't care what anybody says. It's never, ever, ever easy. And I just wanted that safe place so bad. And I shouldn't have been in a relationship. And so when I
How fast was it when you got out your marriage to get right in a relationship?
About 6-8 months. It was
That's decent.
What?
It's not enough time.
I think she was going to say 6 to 8 weeks.
Not
That's
coming
decent.
out of a 7-year marriage.
No, it wasn't enough time. You needed to. I tell my brother just got divorced, and I'm like, you need 1 year.
Yes.
1 year.
At least a year.
Yeah.
You know how many people come out of a divorce and are like really like not doing nothing for a while? Like they be traumatized from the divorce.
But does that mean you don't see people, or like that means no seeing people, no sex, zero,
no, but
anything?
that just means you shouldn't be getting into anything like completely serious.
Okay.
Like,
Agreed.
why would you turn? I just got out of a however long marriage. I was just married to someone, and we finally ended this marriage. So you telling me that all right, I'm free, but like, am I really about to go find a boyfriend right now? Like what?
Yeah,
No.
I don't recommend it. Listen, you need to heal, and because you're going to carry the same baggage right next door into the next one, and so you really need to take the time to heal. And this is my time. That's how I feel getting out of my last relationship. I've been single for about 1.5 years. This is my time.
How does it feel?
Fucking amazing.
So you don't get lonely?
You see the life I'm living? Fuck no, lonely. God no. I have no.
You ain't never broke up with a long-term relationship and then been free and felt free as fuck?
It is.
Said, fuck
When
no,
I got out of
lonely.
my last long-term relationship, I was single for like 3 years before I started dealing with somebody seriously.
Yeah.
And I was living my motherfucking best life. Like, what?
So do y'all crave, like, I'm not gonna call it intimacy. Do y'all like crave just like a relationship, just having someone there all the time outside of sex though? Do y'all crave that?
I don't crave. I really don't miss or crave anything about a relationship right now. I think it's because I'm enjoying myself so much. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a different response.
But I also have the best. I'm like Hannah Montana right now. Okay, I'm living the best life because I have an incredible life in the lifestyle. Like I'm a swinger, and so I have all of that. I'm not really missing anything.
You know what? Speaking of that, knowing that's your lifestyle, when you, let's say if you do want to date, is that something you pursue to give somebody that information immediately?
I've talked with my friends about this, and so it depends. A lot of people find me from my show, and a lot of people, I don't tell anyone about my show because I don't want them to judge me on that.
Oh, this is a word of mouth type of show.
No, I mean, I don't. If I meet somebody, I don't say, oh, I have a podcast, because then they'll listen and know what I'm all about. I like to tell on the second date, second meeting. It's been so long since I've dated. I haven't been dating.
Oh,
I've just been
wow.
enjoying the lifestyle. Why would I date when I have incredible sex and I get to be like, bye?
And who introduced you to this?
The lifestyle?
Yeah.
2 other podcasters. Their names are Kat and Ams. Their podcast is called 2 Hot Wives. And they reached out to me. I got COVID in the Bahamas. That's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah, you got stuck 10 days in the Bahamas.
Oh, my God.
I went down the rabbit hole of your page.
Oh, my God. That is a trip. If you listen to one of my episode, it was my first episode of my second season. I think it was called like my 38-minute orgasm. I like this told everybody everything. That was wild. I also had amazing, incredible sex with a local from Exuma there the last day.
She said, I'm living life.
Oh my god! I don't know what kind of show this is.
Yes, it is.
Biggest fucking dick I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like a baby's arm holding an apple. It was incredible. And yeah, so that trip I ended with a bang. But Cat and Hams emailed me. Yes, Cat and Hams emailed me and said, let's talk about the lifestyle. We'd like to come on your show. And I was very naive. I knew about swingers and stuff. I really didn't know about the lifestyle though. And they taught me everything, and I fell in love with it. Mm-hmm.
Do you think, if I'm asking both of you, that it's more acceptable for a woman to live this lifestyle than a man?
I know how I'm going to answer that, but
I never thought about that.
Because men, it seem like, if I meet you and you say, I'm into swinging, cool, we could probably accept that. But if you meet a man that's just like, well, I mean, I like to fuck around with a couple people, it really don't go the same way.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. In relationships, are women more accepted by men for it? Yes. But in society and in general, women are shamed.
Yes.
I'm a slut, I'm a whore. Yes.
If you're a woman and you go, I'm a swinger, they're like, you fucking whore. You just out here fucking. Like,
yes, for
you
sure.
just out here fucking everything. And it's like, no, not everything. Just what I want when I want.
The one thing, the biggest misconception about the lifestyle is that everyone fucks everyone. That is so untrue.
Just like gays.
Heavily consented. Heavily, I mean, like the communication is unbelievable and the consent is paramount. And so it's not everyone throws their keys into a jar and fucks everyone that night. It's not like that at all. I cannot stress that enough. It is heavily consented. All about what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and it's respected too. It's the most. I can't explain it, and I just feel so comfortable, safe, very safe in that environment, and yeah.
Would you ever go back to
vanilla? Fuck no.
So the next guy, whenever you get into it, this is your lifestyle that they're walking into.
So yeah, and listen, there's gonna be a lot. That's one thing that kind of makes me nervous, but I will say, as I've lived, you live and you learn, and I've learned that monogamy it's just not for me. So
I feel like you're talking to my soul.
I mean, and it takes a lot to get there. It's hard to. I don't know. Society puts so much pressure on you to be a certain way and to live your life, and what they think is normal. But for me, I just feel like monogamy is not for me. And if I'm being frank, and I talk about this on my show, and I'm not proud of it, but I'm a cheater.
I love her. These cheaters unite.
It's not proud.
He's proud of it though.
Whoa! Don't you throw me under the bus?
You saw that?
I was just like, I got a brother in arms. Never said you should cheat. You should not cheat. I just glad I had somebody.
Cheaters unite. Like, what type of shit was that?
I'm going to tell you, I did an entire episode about affairs. It is no way to live. Cheating and hiding and lying and smoke and mirrors, and you're literally the energy that you're giving for all of that in those situations. It is, and you're living in limerence. There's all kinds of stuff. I can talk about affairs and cheating a lot.
So wait,
do not recommend.
What made you cheat? Because I would say for me, anytime I cheated, since my sexual appetite was different from other people's sexual appetite, whenever I felt sad or just wanted to release, I would go out and do my thing, then go back home and live like this fake normal life.
I cheated solely for sex. To be real, a lot of men don't like giving oral sex, and for me, that's like my thing. And so if you're not going to let me sit on your face, I'm going to go sit on someone else's. So
wait, as a woman that's here, is that a thing?
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
What?
Sitting on faces?
I never thought that men didn't do this. This is news to me.
Oh, so what you're saying is you weren't aware that there are niggas that don't?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's people.
Or they do. Okay, or they do, and it's like a cat drinking milk.
Yeah,
no.
like it's just not it.
No,
like,
no.
Either get all up in it or just don't.
There's so many. I can give I'm famous for my tips.
Yeah.
I can give lots of tips.
Tip
when
Tuesdays.
It comes to pussy. Oh my God. Like yeah.
Okay, I'm the only man here. So what is the tip? Because how I started, when I first started, this is so weird.
And by the way, I ate pussy for the first time 2 weeks ago. So now I have like both ends of it. I'm like,
is it better to receive or to give now?
Oh, receive. Yeah. And I don't seek. I don't feel like I would seek that out. I love cock, but I'm bi-situational. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, talking about tips, you want to know?
Yeah, I need a tip because I would do like the circle thing, but I heard you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do side to side. So how do you do it?
So here's the biggest thing: start with variety and with consistency. Like I cannot stress that enough, and that goes for blowjobs too, right? And it's all about you have to pay attention and to what she's feeling because every woman's different. Every woman's different, and also you gotta lick it before you stick. You gotta warm the engine up.
You gotta just put your penis in there. That's crazy.
Look, when a man licks his fingers and then gently inserts it and you know. Touches my G-spot and I'm just like, oh, thank you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what you're doing. Like, this is
I
good.
trust you.
And so it's, for me to come, I like the G-spot stimulated and I just like a consistent movement on the clit. That's all that will do it for me.
Brax,
not you want me to tell the world what's going to do it for me.
Brax, what's going to do it for you? What's going to do it for you?
What's going to do it for me? Damn. I mean, like you said, consistency. Like, you just gotta be consistent. First of all, you should pay attention to me because I've had different people do different things and still make me come. So you gotta find out what it is that you do that's gonna make me come. Yeah. Because what you could do to make me come might not be what he could do to make me come.
So it's not a one trick. I think that's what guys look for, like that one trick that will work for everyone.
It's not necessarily always gonna work for everyone though. No. Every pussy is different.
And by the way, it's different for us too. Like they don't call it a job for nothing. Like different blowjob techniques will get different men off.
So y'all don't got just a bare bones basic. Boom, that's what I'm gonna start with. Of course, consistency and variety, but you don't have something that you always start with.
Variety at first, consistency at the end.
So you try what works.
I mean, I can give you.
You gotta go in with examples. Like you gotta start. Okay, let me see if he like. Does he like hand movement? Maybe you don't like that.
Yeah, it's all different. But that's why you have to really pay attention to your partner and listen to your partner. And I also am a big fan of, giving. I'm a giver. I love givers in the bedroom.
Yes.
And that's key. And also communication. I think so many people don't talk about sex. And men especially are quiet in the bedroom, and you shouldn't be like that. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me not to stop, Do
you, both of you, do you say that rule applies just for a rando that you're having sex with, you swinging? Are you caring about, does he like this? Or you like, all right, well, this isn't going to be a forever thing. Boom, and we out of there. Because you don't have, if you are fucking for one time only, you got to pull out your best shit. You can't be out here doing varieties.
There's no game. There's no game for me. It's feeling the vibe of what's going on at that time. What are they responding to? What are they into? How do they feel when I do? Like you'll try different things and then go with it. I don't know. I don't have a game plan. I don't have a motive when I'm listening.
I have a game plan.
I don't have a game plan. Like you mean like, I'm finna do this first.
Yes,
do this
yes. I have a game. It's never failed, so I've never had to learn something else.
I challenge you to not be like that because every woman's different. So you should get to know your partner.
But see, now I'll be confused because I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do now? Because a lot of women I would say from my experience, a lot of women don't really know what they like first, so I kind of do the normal because not everybody's in the lifestyle. A lot of people, for me, I do not like vanilla sex, and I run into a lot of women who do, and it's just very depressing for me because I'm just like, oh, missionary.
But wait a minute, you can't tell. I can tell. Like I look around the room, I'm like, oh, he fucks. Like I can
from a woman. I don't know, what does that look like from a woman when you can be like, oh, I know.
Confidence. I think it's confidence.
Yeah,
confidence.
You have to exude confidence.
So loud confidence or quiet confidence?
It doesn't.
Because those are two different confidences.
I don't know. I mean, there are.
You have to exude it. Like I should be able. Like I can look at you and I can see or feel the confidence. Not necessarily that you're loud and confident or you're soft and confident. Yeah. It's that I can look and it just you literally. It's like it's coming off of you. Like it's steaming off you. Like yeah. It's coming. Like you can look at this person and tell. Like you can't look at her. You never looked at a female and be like, yeah, she sucks that dick.
That's what you say when you're looking at me. I'm telling you right.
You ain't never
sucking that dick.
You ain't never looked at that bitch and be like, I know that pussy good. Like, I know.
I mean, you come across those and you just be like, if it's not, then I'm surprised. But I know that you got some shit on you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
and also, you should communicate. People just do not talk about sex enough. They just do not. And that's what I love about the lifestyle is, listen, I go to orgies, I go to parties, I go to events, and I know my game plan, who I'm going to play with before. I get to know them. I speak with them. What are you into? What are your boundaries?
Hey, you ever heard of Baltimore Playhouse?
Yes, I'm dying to go there.
Yeah.
Have you been? They have classes and stuff
I have
there.
been.
Oh, okay.
That was my first one. I randomly heard about it on TikTok.
Okay.
So I signed up. I think they got back to me in like a month, and it was like, your membership is now active. So one day I was like, all right, let me go. Never been ever to any of this.
Okay.
Never been. It was a lot.
I'm going to tell you this. It is. When I describe the parties and things that I go to, it's sensory overload, and nothing can prepare you until you're in those rooms. You don't know what it's like. No.
Listen, when you watch these Roman or whatever, and this is an orgy of people not caring about other people, it's a little, everybody's in their own little world, but it was very respectful. I will put it that way.
There's all different kinds of scenarios and situations. Like the parties that I'm used to, it's couples playing with other couples they want to play with, and, partners that have consenting partners, but there are orgies where it's a free-for-all, and there are other dedicated areas where it's like there's exhibitionism, people, voyeurism, they love either watching or displaying, and so there's rooms made for that, right, where people can just pull up a chair and watch. And so that's actually not my thing. I'm more of I like the connection with people.
Right.
I like playing with other couples. I like full swaps, stuff like that.
What is your thing, Brax?
Are you asking me like what?
Yeah, what's your thing?
I don't fucking know.
Have you ever had a threesome?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like to think.
Then we on you now.
I like to think when it comes to sex, I'm pretty much open to like most shit. Like I'm gonna try it, but like. To say I'm part of the lifestyle, I mean,
so you got
I've
one
never
foot
done
in, one foot
anything
out
into the lifestyle. It's not to say that I wouldn't be a part of it. We having sex. Like, why I can't just have sex?
No, and you absolutely, you know what? That's what all being sex positive and being open is about. It's like I said, I'm bi-situational, and that's changed. I used to say I was bi-northern. I'm very bi-northern. I love making out with women. I love sucking titties. I love that kind of play. Right. And in this last party I went to, I was like, well, shit, I'm eating pussy. So bi-situational. It's a situational thing. But that you can do and be whatever you want to be. And that's what I love about the lifestyle is everyone's accepted. No one's shamed. And being around that sex positivity, I've never really had a group like that before. I've always been judged and shamed in my life. And that's why it feels like home to me.
So you mentioned that Kate was her name that got you into this? Cat and Ams. So I got introduced years ago. I think it was early on. I think you might know. Let's see if you do. I got introduced to this site called FetLife.
Oh yeah.
FetLife did it for me because I was like, oh, it's basically
like Facebook for nymphos.
Yes, because people will post their real lives what they're going through, and I'm like,
amateur porn.
I'm like, what am I really looking at here? Because it's sex, but it's so normalized that you kind of like always look at it like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I actually am not on FetLife. I get so overwhelmed by all that stuff. Cassidy.com, SLS, 3Fun, Field, all these different apps and groups. And
I know nothing about any of these, so I looked at your page.
Yeah, I'm on Friction, like for the, hotel takeovers and stuff like that. It gets very overwhelming. There's so many different avenues. But I do love how there is such a huge community out there. But FetLife is that, like I said, it's Facebook for nymphos.
It's Facebook for nymphos.
It is. It really is. I don't have an account on there though.
So I got a question from one of our viewers that watched your show. She is a female, and she wanted me to ask, right? And I was like, I'm going to ask if this is your question. I said I wasn't going to say your name. She wanted to know, because clearly we're all open and understand stereotypes and all that. So she was like, oh, she's funny. I listen to her a lot. I wonder if she only sleeps with white men. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll ask.
Well, then she must not be listening to my show.
I don't think so.
I don't think she listens to my show then. Because
I don't think so.
I don't discriminate when it comes to D. I never have, never will. You know, I think the lifestyle too. I'm so open to so many different types of partners. I will say, I had never slept with an Asian before, and I did at 2 parties ago.
Was it what everybody says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will. They'll listen. Like, okay, here comes the stereotypes. Here they come. No, I mean, it was average.
What is average? No. What's average?
Listen.
Average is 6.
It was a little under 6.
I was going to say no. Average. I think they say average in like the book is like 5 to like 6.5 or something. Like average in the book is actually small.
I have a statistic. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a trend. And I'm seeing this right now. Men that are 5'10", 5'9", packing heat. I've never seen bigger cocks on men than men that are a little bit taller than me. My dom is 6'5". He has a huge cock. He does, but like 5'10", 5'9", I'm like,
So is it the taller ones or was it 5'10", 5'9"?
The 5'10" guys, 5'11s, I've never seen bigger cocks in my life. Like the Bohemian, that man.
She remembers him.
Yeah, I'll say his name. Valentino.
Valentino, you probably won't listen to this. But go ahead.
He pops in my lives all the time.
Never mind.
And that man, I was like, where's that gonna go? Like I was like, oh my God, I don't know where that's gonna go. But he warmed me up. He did all the things.
So there's no such thing as too big for you.
You know, there is such thing as too big. His was too big. It couldn't go all the way in. And there was no way I was getting on top without some sort of like. So for
the male audience, are we saying 12 inches? Or are we saying more?
His was probably 9.5. And to me,
9.5 is a lot.
I'll show you a picture. I'll show you a picture.
First of all, I got an 8.5, 9. So she said a 9.5.
So it was thick and 9.5.
I was going to say girth matters because if you give me a 9 pencil, it's not going to give.
Oh, I hate a pencil penis.
I hate a pencil. Like, is the finger fatter than your dick?
It's
That's
such a
not
shame.
it.
Yes, I'm not a fan of a pencil.
I don't like pencils,
but I think a lot of dudes don't care because we were always told growing up it's not necessarily the girth. It's the
girth.
The girth is a thing.
It's the girth.
Oh yes.
It's the girth. Give me short and fat before you give me long and thin. What the fuck am I going to do with that?
I not agree more. And it feels like it's poking you.
What am I going to do with this pencil? Like what am I
agree. It doesn't fill me up.
More than likely, like you said, it doesn't fill me up. Mm-hmm. So then more than likely, it's giving wide the fuck open because you got this little ass dick that I'm not even, like nobody else on fucking has this little ass thin ass dick.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a pencil dick. And I'm going to show you his penis before we leave. It's huge.
See?
It's beautiful, too.
I never want to see a dick this bad in my life.
Oh, you know, and I need to see him again. We talk all the time. We still talk all the time. I met him. He knew I was stranded in the Bahamas.
How do you know? You told him?
He's a fan of my show. Listen, that whole story is so crazy. And he lived in Exuma, and he said, hey, I'm going to come to Nassau. He's like, it was funny. He's like, are you going to be there next week? I'm like, bitch, yeah. Like, I'm on
Wait, y'all fucked and you had COVID?
Yeah, I'm like, he didn't care.
Would you care?
He didn't care. So, but I actually tested negative the day before I met him. But it was, you know what? He was the most kind, and I needed that. He was sent to me. I needed like that calm peace. He showed up with a case of Bud Light because he knows me well.
Right.
And he was like, come on, let's go have some fun. We went and got the kids dinner. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to room 16, whatever room at whatever level it was. And I was like, bye-bye. And I told my friend, I was like, hey, I met like a bunch of people there. I was like, watch the kids. I'm going to get fucked. And he rocked my world. Yeah. So I hope to see him again.
You know what? Shout out to you, and shout out to Nassau for doing what you did that day. I appreciate that. You mentioned something earlier, right? With you having your personal life and your private life. Do they ever blend? Or do you keep who you are at work, then it flips? They never coexist at the same time.
I used to be that way, and then my show got popular, and people found out, right? I actually had a coworker.
Your coworkers found out?
Okay, so I was walking down the hall, and my coworker whispers in my ear, he goes, I'm a craver. And I'm like, oh, shit.
I'm like, saw the show.
So he knew, and I'm like, oh my God. But it's been fine. You know, I'm out there, and I am not ashamed of who I am, but I will say it does impact my life. My daughter, her birthday was last month, and she wanted one of her friends to come, and she said she couldn't come because her mom doesn't like you. And I found out there was this mom hate group about me, and that hurts because I'm like,
you got a hate group about you?
Yeah. And I was like, damn. I mean, it's just my daughter once had a birthday party, you know, and I'm not sitting here talking about sucking dick at the birthday party, you know what I mean? But like, just the insecurities of women, and so she
because they have husbands or whatever the case may be.
I will tell you, when I go to the school, all the dads, they love to see me, and the moms just like, no one will look at me. So no, it does impact my life. In fact, it's impacted my life a lot lately, and enough so there are some times where I think to myself, why am I doing this? But then I get 25, 30 DMs of women who say, thank you for helping me, thank you for making me more confident, and that is my purpose, that is my why, and keeps me going. But it is not easy.
I just don't understand why like people like are so like when it comes to sex. Like what?
It's
you don't
not.
Be fucking?
It's
like exactly. You in the vanilla ass shit. Because what are you doing?
I don't think it's that though. Coming from a male experience, I would say when you deal with a woman who is monogamous, right? That is her jam. That is what she is. If she knows her neighbor is just this wild da 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 da, and let's say you and your man going through it, you ain't really fucking him like that, but your neighbor is like that. You're not wanting your man
though.
Right, but you're not going to want your man to go over there.
But I should be fucking my man though. But I should be fucking my man though.
True.
Like, what the fuck?
True.
If you're not fucking getting nigga, if you're not getting no dick, you telling me you just gonna be dry, you're not gonna go get none? Because if you're not giving me no dick, I gotta go get it from somewhere.
Listen, it definitely is. It's their own insecurities. You know, I just consider the source, but it's hard. It's hard. It is.
I mean, I do get the other side, but at the same time, I just feel like if I was doing what I needed to do at home, my man wouldn't be going nowhere.
And I think it's a confidence thing. I think so many women lack confidence, and it's a shame and also women are competition. Why?
I don't know about this. I'm out.
I'm not your competition. I'm not your competition. You know, and so it's like, I don't know. It's a shame, and I feel bad for them. And I feel bad for their husbands because I could teach them how to suck dick really good, and they don't listen to me. But no, they are listening to me. It's funny because
they're listening, but they're not listening.
You know, it's
they watch just to talk shit, and it's like you should be listening because maybe he wouldn't at least trying to say hi to me at the parent teacher conference. If you actually took that tip that I gave you on episode 30, he might not be trying to wave at me at the parent teacher conference.
And by the way, I'm getting ready to do an entire episode about blowjob tips because I'm very passionate about sucking dick. I've always loved it, and I'm really good at it. And I'm going to do a whole episode about tips, tricks, and building confidence when sucking cock. So I'm out here doing God's work.
You are doing God's work. You doing God's work. How does your family know?
They do. Mm-hmm.
They do?
Yes. It was funny because my dad came downstairs in my basement.
Daddy know?
I had like my sex swing hook and I forgot to... He was like...
As a father, Lord. I'm like...
No, they're not surprised. My parents know who I am. And my parents, I will tell you this, like I grew up in a very unique way. My parents have always accepted everyone, loved everyone, promoted that. They would never shame me for who I am.
To them, you're just their daughter. Like, all right, that's just my daughter.
Like, do you?
And you're an adult. Fuck.
Yeah. No, there's no shame, no judgment from my family. Which is really, I know that's rare.
That's rare. Mm-hmm. When did you know you had this appetite?
I was like 9 years old.
9?
Mm-hmm. I had my first orgasm when I was 9 years old.
Fuck out of here.
Swear to God. Mm-hmm. I've always been that way. Always.
Did you know what it was, or you gave it to yourself by accident?
I tell the story. This is for real. I grew up in Greenbelt, Maryland, and I was like, this is back in the day when they had big playgrounds with big swing sets, and I was climbing a pole, and I was like, that feels weird. And so I kept climbing and kept climbing and kept climbing, and I had a fucking orgasm at the top of the pole. I climbed that pole every day. These teachers are probably like, this bitch is climbing that pole all the time. And that's how I had my first orgasm.
How did you know what it was?
I was just like, that feels really good. I don't, and then I just was touching down there. I was always very curious. And finally, I don't think I gave myself an orgasm. That pole was doing
I technically never touched myself.
I'm not, you know what? That is what it was. But yeah, I was definitely a master. So my parents, we moved from Greenbelt. We grew up in a Section 8 pretty bad neighborhood, and my friend got shot in a drive-by. That's a whole nother story. And my parents up and moved us to Waldorf, Maryland. Overnight.
Oh, the good part.
But that was a culture shock for me.
It is different from Greenbelt.
Very different. My brother and I were like, who are all these white people? I swear to God, we were like, this is weird. But I think I started masturbating when I was like 10 or 11. Yeah.
To like porn or to your thoughts?
There wasn't porn. My dad's Easy Riders. I mean, there was no porn.
The fuck is an Easy Rider? I'm a 90s baby.
Is it a magazine?
It's a magazine. Oh my God.
I would assume it was a magazine. I mean, there was porn when I was growing up. I mean, it was like Cinemax After Dark and shit.
Oh, no. Well, first of all, we were okay. When I say we were broke.
They said we were broke. We didn't have cable.
No, God,
cable.
Fucking television. I mean, it's not funny. You know what? I will say this: we were broke. We weren't poor. We had a lot of love in our family and stuff, but we were broke. Okay.
When you look back at it, you're like, damn, we were broke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you go back from an adult eyes, you're like, oh wow.
I distinctly remember my parents never ate, and I was like, are y'all not hungry? And they couldn't afford to feed themselves.
But they fed your ass. Oh.
That's real.
Damn.
It makes you appreciate things, and I worked 10 times harder to provide a better life for my daughter. And I had a great childhood and all that stuff, but yeah, it was not easy growing up.
But yet here you are.
Yeah, it makes you work harder and appreciate things. A humble upbringing for sure.
So you at this age now versus you when you were in your long-term relationship and you were in your marriage, would you say those are two different people? What would you say to yourself then if you could go back, even if things changed?
Get out! No.
Not run!
Like I said, when you don't, I don't know. I feel like I didn't really know who I was. And
how old were you when you got married?
28.
Okay.
So I wasn't that, I spent my entire 20s in college. Listen, I wanted to get out of poverty. Like that was my goal.
And you got college when?
I went to Towson University and, immediately went to graduate school. I went to the University of Maryland, earned my MBA. I wanted to get a strong, just a plain old MBA.
Okay. I
was a computer science major at Towson. I know. I wanted to get out. I was so driven to that. I talk about that on my show sometimes about, and there was the societal pressures. It really was. And I'm not ashamed to say
what
that.
was your societal pressures?
Get married, have babies. Get married. I mean, I distinctly remember Thanksgivings where my grandmother would be like, are you ever going to bring anybody here? Are you ever going to introduce anybody to the family? And I'm like, Grammy, my boyfriend's like being with their wives on these holidays. That's what I used to say. I just was, but I felt a lot of pressure to get married. It was just the next step. And I had no business doing that. I don't know who that person was when I was married, for sure. And I suppressed big time who I was. When I was with my ex-boyfriend, I was more me, but sexually I wasn't. I was always very ashamed because that's what people do. They shame you.
Was it more like the society shaming you, or was it more like people you knew?
Well, my ex-boyfriend, like I said, he judged me for the sex swing.
But y'all were together for like a year.
We were together 3 years. He would judge me for how much I jerk off all the time. That's my.
But he stayed with you though.
Yeah, and it was tough. That was a big thing in our relationship was the difference in sex drives for sure.
Was his lower or was yours
Way
just extremely
lower.
high?
Oh my God. Well, mine is extra high, but I don't know. I don't feel like having sex 5 or 6 times a week is abnormal. I don't think that's abnormal.
Is that not abnormal? Because I be attracted to my partner, and if like we lived together, even if we didn't, like if we had the time, like we not fucking every day.
When she says it,
or oral or
something, like something.
When you put it in perspective, if you say 5 to 6 times, that might be a lot. But if you think, and once a day, do you have a busy schedule?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you still make time for that.
I'm making time for the D.
Yes.
I go through great lengths for good D. I'm going to tell you this right now. I actually made a TikTok about that. I had a fuck buddy last fall, and I was like, I literally rushed home, got my shit, ran to his house, got fucked, then ran to pick up my daughter. I mean, that's what you gotta do. Oh, I will do amazing things for good deeds.
So there is time.
Oh my God.
There's time for it.
You are gonna make that time for good deed. I will clear schedules. I will run roads. I will drive miles for good deed.
I'm running red lights. Yes. Like, I gotta get there. And we on a time constraint, especially if we're on a time constraint. I ain't gotta go.
And I kind of like that. I like the wait, walk in.
It's like, see,
throw down.
Yes. All right, peace.
What's the furthest you have ever gone distance-wise for penis?
Probably not that far, but like.
What are you saying, 30 minutes?
Maybe like an hour. Northern Virginia, not that far.
You went to Northern Virginia?
I spent a lot of time in Northern Virginia, actually.
Oh shit! No, goddamn. Furthest
Arlington, yeah.
I went. The furthest I ever went from right here was probably Florida.
Okay, that's a distance.
Yeah.
I never hopped on a plane.
Oh, I've hopped on a plane for some pussy.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I have not, and I have not hopped on a plane for the day. I've driven for the day.
Yes, and rearrange schedules.
Schedules. Fake sick for the day. Right?
Sick.
Me too.
Not using a sick day.
Like, I've done some things for the dick, but hop on a flight and he must be paying for it. And if you're paying for it, I'm gonna hop on the flight for the dick. But if I'm paying for it, I must already know that this is number one on my list. This is that. Yeah. This is the one that anytime you call anywhere you at, I gotta get there. And if you're not that, I'm not hopping on no plane for no dick.
Oh yeah? Why we got
Are you paying for it?
While we got this guest here, I'm gonna ask you dead to your face right now.
What? What are you gonna say that you already know about me? What are you gonna say?
What is a kink that you've never done that you want to, and what is a kink that you will never do?
I would just like to know what her kink is.
That's just What are your kinks, love?
No, you did not just put me on the spot like that. Something that I probably would never do.
I'm gonna say never say never. So put that out there.
Listen, don't listen to her. She's on a different level. Do not. She's on a
never say
different
never
level.
is a thing, but right now in my mind, I'm probably never eating a man's ass.
Boo.
I'm not eating a man's ass. Sorry.
Boo.
Yeah. It's hairy. Like,
tell him shave it.
Just no. And I probably, that question that we asked on the fucking thing today, I'm probably not finna peg.
You're not about to peg?
No.
Now let me tell you, before we get to our guest here, how a woman tried to fuck me. So we was using the toys or whatever. So cool. Everybody know you watch the show. I like my ass. Hey, the shit's lit. Hey man,
I love my ass eating too.
Yeah, thank you.
My ass ate too. I'm just not gonna eat yours.
Then you're selfish. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, you selfish ass.
I'm not. I give everything else but my tongue to your ass.
I cannot listen. Shout out to the LGBTs and all the Qs, but when she was doing, she licked down there, whatever the case. Cool. All I know was she put it in her mouth, right? Cool. She took it out. I felt the pressure, right? But I didn't know. I was like, oh, this might be your hand. But the pressure was a little thick. It was a little girthy, right? So I was like, I had to open my eyes. This woman tried to stick a dildo up my ass. And the problem I had with the story is I can't say I didn't like it.
First of all, she should have definitely had your consent for that first.
Yes.
I just want to say that. Put that out there. You should have consent before you do something like that. But you
down to get pegged?
Yeah.
No.
You should try getting pegged by
Whoa. See. It didn't go in the booty hole or nothing like that. But the pressure of it, since I didn't know what it was.
It was like,
right.
I thought it was pressure from her tongue?
I thought it was her thumb or whatever. I didn't know what the pressure was from. So I was like, oh, it's your finger. It feels good. But when I realized what it was, I had to think. I was like, huh.
I don't see anything
So
wrong
would
with
you
that.
get pegged?
I've been asked this question a few times. Right now, I would say, I'm not gonna lie, I probably could be coerced into it.
I think you should definitely
I could be coerced. Like if you ask me right now, immediate answer is gonna be no. Like no, immediately.
You won't let me peg you after this?
I almost said yeah. I have to be coerced. All right, what is this? This a high noon? I'll never drink these again. This is the last episode of High Noon.
Okay, so you answered two.
I'm shocked as fuck.
I want to know, what is your kink? Do you have a kink? Do you know?
Yeah, what is your kink, goddamn? I just talked about me.
Like, I took the sex quiz, and what did it say about me?
Not the BDSM thing.
I told me I was a rope bunny.
Oh, you're a rope bunny.
I like being tied and choked.
Oh,
it's lit.
So my kink is breath play. Breath play might be your kink.
Tell her what breath play is.
Right.
Breath play is just there's many different forms of breath play.
Oh, God.
It's any form of restriction of air for you. And so, like,
yeah, that might be it.
And FYI, pro tip, choking or, touching around the neck should never be from the front. It should be around the sides. That's the pressure points that you want, not this. But this.
So use your fingers, not your hand, not your palm.
Not the inside of your palm. Right. So, like, you're not choking somebody out. I have dabbled with asphyxiation before, and
How far did you go?
I went all the way, and it was the most incredible experience ever. But you have to do that with a very, very trusting and experienced partner. My dom, he has a lot of experience in it, and so I went to that level with him. But it's dangerous, so I do not recommend that. But it is an incredible high. Auto asphyxiation. A lot of people masturbate and do that, and people die. So you have to be very careful.
Yes.
And with a very trusted partner. But I will say that high was intense. It was intense. Yes.
I would try it.
He brought me back. He brought me back right. I mean, I was definitely the tunnel vision, and
you seen that the light started to dim out.
And so what he does is he's very skilled, and he's like, I'm going to hold you this way, and he puts a mirror in front of us so he can watch me.
So he can look at you.
Yes, he watches me, and I was so high, and like that experience of it. I mean, it was intense. I actually really want to do it again. I can't wait to do it again. But it's a time and a place for that.
Yes.
Breath play is choking. Also, another form of breath play that I love is when someone's on top of you, fucking you hard, and they'll just pull you into their chest, and it makes like these, like, not suffocation noises, but like,
you just told me some new shit. Wait a minute.
It's hot. And so, like, I'm like gasping, and they're like pulling me like in
so
their
your face is in their chest.
Yes, and I have a hard time breathing. I'm into that. The pulling into the chest is a thing. It's a kink. It's a breath play. It is.
Let me ask you this. You being as open as you are, would you ever in life, depending on what age, teenage years or whatever, ever let your daughter know?
Everyone asks me this. Everyone. And my daughter is going to find out. She's going to listen to my podcast one day. She is, right? I mean, it's,
more than likely,
my whole life is online.
Yes.
And I'm going to keep it real with her. I'm going to be very honest and blunt with her and talk to her about safe sex and being, sex positive, more pushing the sex positive front of it, not, the kinks and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, do the sex positive part. Be safe, all that good stuff.
Sex positive part. And also, there is no such thing as consequence-free sex. And we're going to talk a lot about that. Pregnancy, STIs. There is
STDs.
Well, so STDs is like an old.
Oh, you STIs now.
Yeah, it's
because
STIs now. And here's the reason why. Most sexual infections are curable or maintainable. So, like, even AIDS, you can go undetected. You cannot pass it to your partner if you're treating it properly. And there's such a stigma on STDs, and we could talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Most of the world, I would say, I think it's 4 out of 5 people that are sexually active have had or will have, and they didn't even know it, HPV. So I actually just had HPV. Okay. I had surgery on September 1st to remove it because mine was a more persistent strain. And so it's precancerous. You can get cancer. So I had surgery to get that removed. And it's so common. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And everyone has it. And also the numbers of the amount of people
talk about herpes. Please talk about herpes.
Majority of the world has herpes. They don't know that they have it. They don't know that they're spreading it. A lot of us I do not have it. I get a blood test. I get tested every quarter. But it's nothing to be ashamed about, and it's out there. And if you protect yourself and you use condoms and you take Valtrex,
it's the stigma behind it.
So that's why it's a sexually transmitted infection. Even AIDS, there's medicine that that can prevent you from spreading it, and you can live a full life. So, I mean, and it's important to talk about STIs and get tested, safe sex. It's paramount. And because, you know, you could get chlamydia, and like if you ignore it, it's better to be proactive instead of reactive. Like get those pap
I think it's weird that some people will ignore it. Like,
oh, they do. They definitely do.
They do.
As a woman, I feel like the moment something's up, I know something's up. Like I know that something's wrong before it even goes all the way wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's also a lot of silent. Like there's not things like herpes that have, you know. And I didn't know I had HPV. I had the pap smear and it came back, and then you know did the whole thing, but. Yeah. And also, I want to promote this really quick.
Go ahead.
If you are, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be under the age of 26 anymore. If you are a sexually active person, get the HPV vaccine.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
First of all, I didn't even know that was a vaccine.
HPV shot.
Men are the super spreaders, by the way. Men aren't even tested. They can't even
never
get
been
tested.
tested.
For HPV. There's not even a test out there for you.
Yeah, you don't get it.
So if you get the shot. Get the shot. It's not that big of a deal. I just had my second dose last month.
It's a 3-dose shot. It's not.
Can somebody explain to me what HPV is?
It's the human papillomavirus. There's 114 different strains.
Jesus.
16 of them. That's why I'm saying everybody has. If you're sexually active,
you probably have HPV.
No, you have had HPV. It's skin to skin. It is not fluids. Condoms do not stop it. And
it was fucking 5 years ago. Fucking 5 years ago, I was dealing with this woman, right? Random one-off, blah, blah, blah. She went to the hospital one day, and she was like, so you gave me a disease? And I was like, fuck, what? What are you talking about? And she was like, HPV. And I was like, how the fuck do you get HPV? And then she said it. I was like, I don't have fucking HPV.
No, you probably did.
You probably did.
Yeah. If honestly, I don't know how many partners I've had. I can't answer that. But like if you have more than one partner.
Right.
Okay, you've had HPV. If you've had more than one partner, you've had HPV. Listen to me, you have had HPV. That is the number.
Damn, sure, I apologize.
The statistics. But the thing is that
so I just get a vaccine? That's it?
The vaccine stops the 14 strains that cause cancer. The HPV vaccine does not stop the type that
about
causes
the other
warts.
ones.
So, like, listen, there's a lot out there.
You know what's crazy?
That's why you need to be safe.
I remember, I think a lot of people remember going through high school, middle school, elementary school, and you were talking about herpes. How normal it was to just see random teachers just with bumps, and you just like, oh, okay.
Oh, cold sores, that's type 1, yeah.
So why do we stigmatize it as a cold sore? We always just, oh, it's a cold sore, but no one else like, oh, this is herpes. Ever.
I mean, it is.
It is herpes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The things we learned about on this podcast.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
So let's get deep with you.
Okay.
Well, what is an STI that you're acceptable of?
What do you mean?
So let's say, you know what? You find a man that you like. I would jump back in a relationship, and he says, you know what? Hey, I have, let's name a light one, I guess, herpes. Is that a deterrent for you to continue to be in a romantic, actively relationship with this man?
I would ask him first and foremost, how are you treating it? You know, how often do you have outbreaks? That's what I would be concerned about. But no, herpes wouldn't.
Shit's a herpes.
But herpes is so prevalent, you guys. Like so many people have
know it's prevalent. Hey, I don't care if you listen to this. My kid's mom has herpes. I know this to be a fact.
I mean,
it's very common. I understand it.
By the way, the correct thing to do, talk to your partners. People are so ashamed and so afraid. You should talk to your partners. I reached out to all of my partners when I found out I had HPV type 16, which does cause cancer. And I was like, hey, listen, have your wife get, because I'm in the lifestyle, I'm fucking other people's husbands, right. And I'm like, have your wife, and most of them were like, oh, we got the HPV vaccine, we're good. But I didn't know.
You didn't know about that. I
didn't know I could get the vaccine at 40 years old.
Is there a time limit on it?
No.
But it used to be. It was very sexist of society to think that you would not have multiple partners as you got older, right? It was like, oh, you are supposed to be settled down with one partner forever and ever, amen. That's not the way it is. And so they only gave the shot to up to 26. So your generation...
Yeah, I was saying, when I went to the doctors, like, my pediatrician... offered the fucking HPV vaccine at like 15. She was like, because I think the age limit is like 12 to 26
that's
or
what
something like
Yep.
that was the age limit. So literally, my pediatrician was like, yeah, so you're having sex, HPV vaccine, and I was like, what's that?
I
She
guess.
was like, it comes in 3 doses. Da da da. Here's the paper on it, and I was like, girl, I guess you saying I need it, so.
Everyone should get the HPV vaccine. Everyone, and it is available to you. And men, especially men, are the super spreaders. You know, they are. There's not even a test for you guys. You don't even know if you're going to have it. And HPV is also listen. If you're going to get cervical cancer, uterine cancer, or throat cancer, HPV is 99% of the time responsible for it.
You could have
Throat
just
cancer. So let's
not her
That
getting
shit
me. No,
spreads.
let me go ahead and check in with my doctor ASAP immediately.
Yeah,
to get
but
this
you
vaccine.
can't even get it.
How
You should
often
get
do
the
you
vaccine.
check in with your doctor? Yeah.
See,
yeah.
If you're a
yeah.
sexually active person with
How
multiple
often are you
partners,
checking
you
in
should be
with your
getting
doctor?
tested every quarter.
I would say I get tested probably every 3.5, 4 months.
How many partners do you have?
Not many. Yeah, not many. I do,
3 months,
and
that's
sometimes I do it just for my own peace of mind. Like, yeah, I want to see the damn paper. I don't care one fucking. I just want to see the paper. So it works out for me personally.
You should not be having sex if you're afraid to get tested. You should not be having sex
yeah,
if you won't
100%.
talk about getting tested. Yeah.
100%. When someone asks me to get tested, I'm just like, okay. Like,
I do that with my partners.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I will not fuck with somebody if I feel that there's a hesitancy about it. Like, well, you don't want to what?
Yeah, I wouldn't either. If someone balks at any of those questions, you're out.
Yeah, like, oh no,
Yeah.
baby, you tried to get me. So, off this lovely,
Lots to talk about.
where do you see your podcast going now? Because it has grown, it is growing.
Yeah, I don't know. I openly share my journey. So wherever my life
Clearly
takes me
people
is
love it.
where my show goes. I don't know.
You know, people love it.
No, I know. And I'm very thankful for that. And like I said, I really started the show just to talk with my friends. It wasn't like I didn't think it would be what it is. But it makes me happy because I'm, helping others, educating, and preaching sex positivity. That means a lot to me. But I don't really have any goals. Isn't that terrible? I don't really have
You
any
have
goals.
grown this business for 2 years.
I know. I don't really have any goals.
Wildly
Just-
successful. You have no goals for it.
I would love to just make an impact on others' sex lives, for others to be happier and live a
Your
more
tip of the day do that.
fulfilled. Huh?
Your tip of the day does that.
I love my just tips.
Just tips.
Tip segment, yes. I love the tips. And it helps because I had a woman actually reach out to me. I'm going to do a whole episode about blowjob tips and stuff because she was like, I was never confident giving blowjobs and now I am. And she messages me and she's like, my boyfriend, she actually said, she was like, my boyfriend asked me, who have you been talking to? What have you been doing? And I was like, don't tell him. But yeah, so that's my purpose. That's my why. I get a lot of fulfillment of just helping people or allowing someone to feel free with their sexuality. So I don't really have a goal, like meet this mark or no, I just doing my thing.
Well, for your tip of the day, give us one of your golden rules for giving a great blowjob.
Pay attention to the underside of the head.
I don't know what the
Frenulum.
fuck that means.
Underside.
What does
The
that
underside of the
mean?
head, the frenulum.
That side.
It's
Like where the vein
That
is?
is like your fucking clit, G spot, whatever. It's the underside of the head. So, and I have a little something I like to do, and I like to actually experience with each of my partners. I'm like, do you like it like tongue flick side to side? Do you like up and down, or do you like circles? They all like circles. And also another pro tip:
You are a problem.
blowjobs should make noise.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Blowjobs should make noise, okay? The suck, the gluck, the it should make noise. And a lot of women do not use enough suction. A lot of women also feel like it's dry. And the reason why is because you're not putting it deep enough down your throat. When you put it down your throat, you're going to get the saliva.
You get saliva, you get
But
spit.
a lot of women be like, I don't want to choke.
You know, what do you mean?
Choking on the cock is actually one of the hottest things. And
Yes,
that's what gives you that.
What do you mean?
That wet, messy, sloppy blowjob. It should be sloppy and messy and make sounds.
I agree.
And you gotta have a little bit of suction. I see lots of, so being in the lifestyle, I've had experiences watching other women and seeing what other people do and how other people fuck. And it also has put a light on me and the way that I do things. And I want to be like, deep throat a little more, you know, like suck it a little harder. Like I can even hear suction on that. Like, you know what I mean? I see a lot of this.
Yeah.
No, that does
oh
nothing.
my God.
Yeah, there's so many tips. And then also like the underside of the penis, especially around the head, like dragging your tongue up and down. That's a huge thing. Using your hand. I mean, there's so many different things.
It's no way I could just work with you and listen to your podcast.
Like,
it's no way.
I don't know. Like I just feel like that's sex. Like I don't know. Like the fact that there's actually like people out here having basic ass sex is wild to me. But maybe I watch too much porn.
We are
because I try to be a
definitely
porn star. Like
we're the minorities.
I be thinking like when I go to have sex, I'm like, I was watching that porn the other day, and that bitch said,
oh my God, have you ever seen the grapefruit technique video?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God, she sounds like it's like a fucking wildebeest. I don't know what she's doing, but goddamn,
like I be really trying to imitate what I see. She look at how he reacted on the porn when she was doing it. Oh, I got to go try that.
So, by the way, here's a pro tip with your partner, and I know a lot of people have a hard time sharing with their partner and communicating with their partner. Watch a porn. Find something you like. I'm a big fan of James Dean. I like the way he.
What
fucks.
you know about James Dean?
I love
James Dean. That's the white bald man, ain't it?
No, it's not. No, that's a different guy.
No, James Dean is the one with the hair, the brown hair. I know what you're talking about. Short.
And he is a passionate, hardcore fucker, and that's the way I like to fuck. And so take a video, send it to your partner, and reenact it. It is the hottest shit. I have had incredible amounts of sex.
I love her.
With Mr. July. We would put it on the screen because you could do everything.
Did
now.
you call him Mr. July?
I have, Mr. July on my show. He's gone, but that's a whole other story. But we would reenact porn together, and it is hot. I 10 out of 10 recommend.
Oh, I want to try.
So you took it to another level. I know people that watch porn, but no.
Share it with your partner and say, I want to reenact this later. And you watch it and you do what they do. It's hot, especially blowjobs and stuff. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never really thought to watch it with them because I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to just try it. Like, we just going to see if you
watch
like
it together and reenact it. I'm telling you.
Because I just be with we just going to see if you like it. Like, oh, I seen that the other day. We just going to see if you like it.
What's your favorite type of porn?
Oh, shit.
I love to be people. What's in your history?
What's in my history? A lot of, like, lesbian porn, a lot of interracial porn, and a lot of threesomes.
Okay.
So
I'm a glory hole. I'm a cum slut, so I like glory holes. Oh yes, and I like cream pies.
I watch a lot of the BBC cream pies.
Oh yes.
And we call it the BBC.
No, because you know that's what I'm talking about. BBC pie, right?
And they can pick you up and spin you around. Oh my God. You know the girl. They have like the little girl and
that little teeny. That's how.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
We're on the same side of porn. For sure. Yep. So I'm a cream pie gangbang kind of girl. That's on my list, by the way. That's not a tip I have.
What, a cream pie?
No, make a fantasies list. I have a list in my phone, and I keep track of all the things I want to do. Like, I really want to do a glory hole, a gangbang. There's lots on there. Pegging is one of my to-dos.
Fuck out of here.
But for real, keep a list. And also you can make a list and keep it with your partner. You can share your notes on your iPhone and then say, if you watch a porn and you see something you want to try, add it to the list, hook it the notification, he'll be like, oh shit, like that's
you can literally put a whole fucking like porn in your note now. Like
you can copy and paste
is
the
so
link.
crazy.
Yes.
Like you can really copy and paste. And when you paste the link,
I'm just sitting here amazed. Like
it's gonna show a mini video like it does in your text message when you send the link. When you put it in the notes that you share with somebody, the shit is
make
wild.
a fantasies list. I mean, and it's like a, if you keep a date night list or a romantic list or whatever, but it keeps it alive. And if you can just be like, hey, what do you want to check off? Like I had this partner and we had a ton of stuff. Sex swing, milking table, which we did.
Oh,
which
fuck is a milking table?
I just feel like the fucking ceiling is going to fucking come down.
No.
Like,
I
feel like the ceiling is gonna. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's not gonna be up there, right? And either I'm gonna come crashing down, or the ceiling's gonna come crashing down on us.
Let it go.
I really want one, but I'm like, bro.
I have a link on my website. It's $60 on Amazon. It's the best sex swing ever, and it holds 1,200 pounds. You're good, girl.
She said you're good.
I have men swinging in there.
Okay.
We both swing in there together. Okay, like you're fine.
Wait, you swinging
1,200 pounds. Like, yeah, I put men in there. You can suck dick. I've done lots of stuff in that swing.
Can you tell me what a milking table is? What the fuck is this?
So milking table, I actually found out about milking table watching porn. I love porn. I know there's a lot of issues and people have a lot to say about porn, but I like
people got issues with porn.
I can watch porn on just the TV.
Me too, but porn, there's a lot of problems in the industry, and also it desensitizes you a little bit, right?
Yes.
So yeah, there's issues with porn, but I love it.
She said, hey, I'm good.
So I found out what a milking table was through porn. So a milking table is just like a massage table with a hole cut out, and I go under the table, he sticks his cock in, and I milk him. It's the hottest thing I've ever done, and he told me.
So that's the one with the regular massage table with the hole in the front where you put your head at, where your face goes into.
No, the hole is where your cock goes. There's no hole fuck the hole at your face.
Look,
there's another hole at your dick. You've never seen. What the fuck do you watch?
I have a video on my phone.
What do you be watching? What kind of porn do you watch? Because
clearly
we're on the same page over here, but what are you watching?
I watch the same shit y'all watch. I just never.
Website, because what the fuck are you seeing?
I like, me personally, I've done the James Dean and I've done all of those things. I still like amateur porn.
I love amateur porn too.
Yeah, like I rock out with the porn star shit and everything like that. The BBCs, all that. I just never seen the milking table.
You should look up close up pussy fuck, like the 4K of like pussy fucking. It's like ASMR of pussy. That shit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It popped up in my suggestions.
This is why your neighbors do not like.
My neighbors love me. Oh my! I'll tell you a funny story. So my neighbor Chanel, we look out for each other. We're both single moms. And a funny story. So my dom pulls up, right, and we're just like, and like later that night, I saw a text on my phone, and she goes, "I don't know who just walked in your house, but he looks like he's about to clap cheeks." Said, "You're right." I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Get it, girl." So no, my neighbors love me.
What?
They love me. Yeah.
Do y'all feel like now is monogamy now starting to not be the norm with the OnlyFans and everything like that?
I don't think so. I think monogamy will always be the norm.
I mean, because if you Christian and all that, yeah. I mean, you're kind of based in that.
Yeah. And monogamy works for a lot of people in the world. And I love love. I love all.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Makes you happy. But
yeah, I don't think monogamy is becoming not the norm. I think that not being monogamous is becoming more acceptable.
I think it's becoming too easy to cheat. It's too easy.
It's easy as fuck to cheat.
It's so easy to cheat. And
if you have a phone, you're.
I did hear this terrible
I'm just a big
quote.
advocate of telling the truth. Like you can't just.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you no
agree,
on that.
But
why?
And I hate this saying, but I've heard it time and time again, and it's you're only as good as their next option. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that hurts and that sucks, but there's so much out there and there's so many ways to cheat. You can cheat on Instagram, Facebook, you can hop on FetLife and watch it, you know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, boom, connection. And like, it's just too easy to contact people. And I think, I don't know. I'm not a big social media has kind of ruined. I feel very blessed that I was one of the last generations. When I was here at Towson University, we did not have iPhones. No. We had a Nokia. Yeah. We played Snake Game. That was all. We had no internet. The internet was brand
It wasn't
new.
something we even thought about.
I remember when Amazon came out, we were like, "This is so dumb. No one's buying books online. Like, we're going to Barnes and Nobles. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And like, yeah, it's so easy to cheat and step out and hide." Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So monogamy.
I don't know. I just don't have the time to keep up with the motherfucking lies. I think that's more what it is for me. I can't keep lying to you, bro. Like I can't keep coming up with these lies. Then I gotta remember the motherfucking lie just because you ask again. Like fuck no. I might as well just tell you the truth. Like for what?
I did a whole episode about affairs and cheating, and it's no way to live. I lived that life I had an affair with Mr. July.
That shit is nerve-wracking.
A year and a half?
Yeah, and it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. It was horrible, terrible. My life was spiraling, and
I'm gonna ask you a question that normal cheaters ask.
Yeah.
How could you live with yourself cheating and then going home to your husband?
It doesn't feel good. Well, without my husband, it doesn't feel good at all.
But why'd you keep doing it?
It's your brain is on drugs. It's that dopamine high. I lived for it. The high highs and the low lows. The high was rushing and meeting him at a hotel and fucking it out all day. The low was when that door closed behind me and I had to go back to reality. It's a drug. Your brain is on drugs. It's a actual studied chemical thing.
Dopamine.
Yes, and it's called limerence. You're not in love, you're not in lust. You're living in the affair fog, and it's very addicting. It's almost I think it's cocaine, heroin. That's the level that your brain is on drugs.
People do not think that sex is a drug.
What it is for you?
Oh.
We know you're a cheater. It's everyone knows you're a cheater.
Okay, what's your question?
Why did you cheat? Why did you cheat? The same question you asked her.
I got it immediately. It's gonna be the same reason. It's not, especially if you're just asking about me personally, it's not about how much I love her, how much she does for me, vice versa, fucking family, none of that. It is just the high of it. I could love you till the world crashes down, but it is just the high of just that release. And you could say, oh, why don't you just release with her? It's different. It is different when it's with multiple people. That's how I knew monogamy wasn't my shit. I'll swing, I'll be poly, I'll do all that shit. But for me to sit here and be like, oh, you forever, I know I'm lying. I cannot do one person. So
I want to say something too to that effect is a lot of people don't know this. So when you are cheating, it has nothing to do with the person that you're cheating on. A lot of women and men who get cheated on think, what did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve this? It has nothing to do with the person you're in a relationship in. And I feel, I don't know about you and how you were raised or whatever, but I feel like people like, I find, and I'm
going to let you know if you're right, go.
But I seek a lot of validation. I had a tough childhood and I did not have, the love that I wish I would have had, like from my father or whatever. Like
you're speaking to my soul,
but it's true. So we seek that out from other people, and also you need to start working on yourself and accepting who you are. Like I think that you are, like I have, and I know that monogamy is not for me, and that comes with a lot of growth and a lot of, you got
there's lots of conversations when you gotta have that motherfucking conversation.
But it has nothing to do with the other partner, and it does stem from voids within yourself. I hate to say that because I'm looking in the mirror.
I just talked to my therapist yesterday, and I was watching some therapy show, and she had asked me, why is my addiction to sex the way it is? And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be completely honest, it's when I was a kid and my family was all outgoing or whatever, and I was the only one that wasn't. So I never got that validation or, hey, look at me. So when I got older and I realized I was good at something, I could get that validation constantly. So then I maybe not have liked sex. Sex was just sex, but I love that you're attracted to me. Okay, give me this attention.
Yeah.
Fuck, going to the next one. Give me that.
You're filling voids.
Yes. Who are you? I like her.
It takes a lot to come to that understanding and acceptance within yourself, and I'm working on it. I am all the time. So I get nervous sometimes, and I think to myself, am I becoming numb to emotions and feelings by being in the lifestyle? Am I just using this is sex becoming transactional for me? Like I worry about that.
And what was your response to that?
I'm just that's why I'm staying single. I'm working on myself. I'm learning and growing myself only. And I don't know, we'll see where life takes me, but
as long as you're single, you ain't got to really worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not, impacting someone else's life. I'm not, I don't know. It's tough. Somebody asked me the other day, like, do you ever think you'll settle down again? And I don't know. I can't answer that.
If you did, do you feel as though poly or swinging is your only
I don't think I would be into a poly situation. Polyamorous, that's a whole different element.
You got another person there all the time.
That's next level. That's next level relationship stuff. But I do feel like open, ethical non-monogamy is for me.
When people say that, and when I've said it to people, and they get the idea that, oh, you just fuck everybody. No. That's not how it works. Not at all. I will never go out and fuck somebody. You will always know. I'll tell you, you give me the green light, cool. If you give me the red light, then I won't.
In the lifestyle, you have to use your motherfucking words. If you're not using your words, you will fuck up. And I tell a lot of couples that want advice and stuff for getting into the lifestyle, I'm like, you have to use your words always and communicate with your partner and never, and I mean ever, take one for the team. Because a lot of people do that. Especially in foursomes. So your husband likes her and she likes you, but you're not really into her husband.
So you take one for the team,
and you see how much they're having fun, and you take one for the team. You're fucking up. Like it's a hard yes or a hard no. No gray areas, and that's what it is. So you don't ever take one for the team.
Take one for the team.
No, I've been in rooms and someone's been like forward and asks me, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, and that's it. And it's hard. It's not easy to do that. But I would rather tell them how I feel now than feel the regret and the shame after fucking them like that. You know what I mean?
Right, because I gotta live with that.
Right.
I'm gonna forget that I just told you no. Whatever.
Remember, when you're having sex with someone, you're exchanging energy with them.
Talk about it.
That's a thing. So you can't waste it.
That's why, what we forgot to do before we get on out of here? We forgot to shout out to goddamn sponsors. So let's shout out to all the sponsors of the show. Reso Streetwear, man. Baltimore-based company. Use code VIBES, VIBES, for 25% off. Shout out to Truth Alkaline Water, another Baltimore-based alkaline-based water company. Shout out to them to get your mind right, get your body right. And shout out to the Treehouse Project, youth organization out in Baltimore, Maryland, for the kids. Keep your kids off the streets. Keep them in the schools. And where can people find you?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts or midlifecraving.com, and on Instagram I'm at midlife craving, over on TikTok, which is a lot of fun,
isn't it?
At midlife craving podcast. So yeah.
And Brax, you got anything you wanna give to the people before we get out of here?
This show was lit.
Yes, it was so fun.
She was so excited about this show. She was so excited.
It was lit. Why couldn't I be excited?
Listen, I knew you were going to be fun. I was waiting all day. I was like, this show. We have a lot of them, but you. And what I noticed, you're not on camera a lot.
No.
No.
I don't do the camera thing.
I dug deep to try to find these.
No, I'm not. I know. The mic. Mm-hmm.
Why do you, before we get out of here, I noticed you have your personal page and your mind craving page together. So you can go back and forth to your personal page. Mm-hmm. Why do you do that? You don't keep them separate at all.
I just, I always had my, Adrienne Hollister Instagram, and then I just started Midlife Craving. I don't know. And I feel like I share different things. My Adrienne Hollister is more friends and, stuff like that. And then Midlife Craving is just all show and lots of sex.
Do you think you are different from the show than in your real life?
Hell no.
You're the same.
What you see is what you get.
You're the same.
Always. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're authentic.
She would have to be in order for them to be connected. If she was different, they would be separate.
I've never, and it's funny when you talk about, and I of course I'm keeping it professional at work. I'm not, but I do, the people who know me at work and stuff, like I still am the same me, and I actually am famous. I draw dicks. That's something. That's something that I do. I draw dicks. I leave hidden dicks all over the office. It never goes away. And no, I think that's why my podcast, it resonates with so many people, because I'm so authentic.
You're authentic.
Yeah.
I can damn sure say you can learn a lot from you. Yeah. It's very educational talking to you. I'm like, I need to get an HPV vaccine.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yep.
Thank you, ladies.
I mean, I'm vaccinated, so
me too. Now,
yeah, you do. You definitely do. Yes. All righty. Well, listen, this has been another wonderful episode of the Vibes Podcast. It's your boy, Two Dimple King, your favorite Leo. You're now about to be HPV vaccine tested host, and I have
it's the high-headed ass. It's your girl, Brad.
The Kink Nasty.
Whatever you want to call me, baby.
And we are leaving you with this tip of the day. I threw it at her.
What any tip?
Yep.
I gave so many today. Use lube. That's a good tip. Use lube. And here's a pro tip for my ladies. On your last day of your period, or when you're feeling dry, we go through the cycle during the month. A pro tip is take a little bit of lube, stick it up there, put it on the edge, and he'll never know. So a lot of women talk about being wet. And so stick a little lube up there. Mm-hmm. Lube. Do not ever be ashamed of using lube. Ever. Ever. Everyone should have lube. And if the best brand I like is Astroglide, it doesn't smell.
Isn't that the one from Target?
Target, Walmart, anywhere, Amazon.
So I'm a whore because I know this.
Now my favorite lube is actually called Turn On with a Partner. It's a silicone-based lube, so not for toys. Water-based is for toys. And
which one is the not sticky one? It's the water-based.
Asher Glide. Yeah, I love Asher. But
I don't like sticky lube. That's sticky lube. Yeah, I don't like that.
Mine is water-based, so
she said everybody got on KY early. But all right, and we'll catch you at the next one. This has been another lovely episode of the Vibes Podcast. And keep craving.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. A lot of fun. Thank you for coming. Girls, this is when we start doing this. All right, we go.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.